awesome, dude. Look how red he is.
That's real animal style right there.
Look at that.
That is a day maker, baby. Oh, look at that. Hey gang, today I am back at South Seas Island Resort, Capt, Florida, and you know that means probably one important thing. I'm back with this guy, my good friend Captain Ozzie Fischer. Good to see you, brother.
Great to see you, Mike.
What? We got a little breeze, but it's spring.
That seems to happen whenever we fish together.
It does.
Breeze.
It does. It does. What are you thinking?
We're going to start off Snook, and then when the wind lets up a little bit, or even if it doesn't, we're going to be protected on the beach, so we're going to try to do some, see if we can't get some tarpon migrating up and down the beach.
I always love it when Ozzie says we're going to see if we can do some tarpon. That's usually a good thing, so it's going to be a good day. It's a pretty magical time on the west coast of Florida. We're just about to May. And it's really, you know, April, May, and June here on the west coast of Florida are really when everything is just happening, everything is alive, and we're right on the cusp of just everything breaking loose.
So what we're going to do, we're going to start off on this jetty. The tide just started in. Typically that's when these snook feed, right when this tide surges a little bit. So we're going to fish some pinfish on the bottom. We'll give it like 5-10 minutes. One thing about anywhere I snook fish, if you don't give them 5 minutes, it's time to move. There we go.
Atta boy, Oz. Oh, now you're gonna be in trouble right off from underneath that lady. First fish in the morning. Sun's hardly up. Oh boy.
Hello, guys.
Look how silver that fish is.
Oh yeah, they get so shiny, silver out here. Funny, if you get a redfish out here, they get silver like that too.
Yeah, I know it. That
Just
beach.
blend right in. You'll get some big trout out here. Everything's starting to spawn, move out to the beaches.
It's a beautiful thing. First fish of the morning.
We'll take it.
Right here on the beach.
Always good to get the first one.
Yeah, it is good.
Knock it out.
Some water running over those gills and right back he goes. Oh boy.
Hey.
The snook fishing has always been really strong here. You know, there's miles and miles of beautiful estuary in the backcountry with potholes and there's some passes. Things are close to the beaches, the barrier islands, Captiva, and those islands kind of protect Pine Island Sound. And then these fish can get to these passes and then start to get to the beach for their summer spawn. It's just a really unique estuary. There's a lot of fish here. If snook is your target species, if they're on your bucket list, you need to put South Seas Island Resort on the top of that list and come visit and get you some. That thing ate it, didn't he?
Yeah, he ate it.
Yeah, he was ready.
He ate it with authority.
Like, I want that one. And he
Darlene should be around here.
didn't seem to care if it had a hook in it. Playing through. Like a good round of golf. I know that I'm gonna pay if Darlene eats on this rod,
Oh yeah.
but on light tackle, they're so much fun, especially in this current. Upside down, go to sleep. It's always a good idea to change that leader out. That leader is all chewed up. They got a real rough mouth on them, almost like sandpaper, and that mouth chewed that leader all up. A little color on them. How about this, huh? Right off the jetty here at the resort. Anybody can come out here. You don't even have to book a trip. You can just come here and catch fish. You know, I think one of the most unique things about South Seas Island Resort is you know that it's really located in the heart of some of the best fishing in Florida. You know, the offshore bite here is incredible, permit and grouper, amberjack, kingfish. And then the backcountry fishing here, snook, redfish, and trout, flounder, it's as good as anywhere in the state of Florida. And then when you add in, you know, tarpon season to boot, this is just a magical place. And I come here a lot, but I come here a lot for a reason, because it's special. And it never gets old. It's always something different. There's always different species to target. It's just a really, really exciting place to go fishing. How many places can you do that?
Oh yeah, you can
catch snook,
trout,
redfish.
People will hook tarpon sometimes.
Right from the beach.
And you can stand right along here, and people can stand right along here. And
oh, that's a big trout there. That's a big old speckled trout right there, buddy.
These trout move out here and spawn, but all of my clients, they love coming here and fishing from shore. And they catch some good quality fish. Nice trout. Our trout are really making a strong comeback. We have a lot of big trout around right now. It's really good.
That's a pretty fish right there.
There you go. Nice 20-incher.
You know, the neat thing about this estuary is it offers a lot of options. And the beach bite was okay. We were hoping to get a really big fish. There had been some big fish there off the point at South Seas Island Resort. But Ozzie had a couple of tricks up his sleeve that he wanted to go take a look at. So the word is it's supposed to come down later, huh? Because it's up right now. What time is later?
Well, when your shirt's like a flag and it's going like this.
She's a tad breezy, Capt.
A tad breezy, but
we wouldn't know how to fish together if it wasn't breezy.
That's why we're guides. You have to adapt and overcome.
Is that what it is? I thought that was the Marines. Why do we have to do it?
Yeah, exactly. We get paid the big bucks, that's why.
Oh, okay. My check must be in the mail.
Yeah.
That's a great cast.
Oh!
You got 8, dog. That was a great eat. You know, one of the neat things about snook is really how they feed. Snook will pin their baits to the surface. You know, if you notice a redfish, their mouth is on the bottom and they kind of drive a bait into the grass, into the dirt, into the mud, and they pin it to the bottom. Snook, they swim around and they pin that bait to the surface, and it makes for some amazing explosions. And if you take some bait out of your well and stuff it in your wiffle ball bat and throw some chummies out there, and those fish just get to going crazy, and it can be really, really exciting if those fish are in the mood to feed, and today they were definitely in the mood to feed.
I mean, we're making, what'd you say, that's our 40-yard cast?
Yeah, it gotta be.
At least. Because we're fishing so shallow. If you got any closer, you might catch one fish. The difference between catching 1 and 10, a really long cast, staying way back on them.
It's a nice fish.
Even though these snook, they're not huge, they still get skittish. Owlfish get skittish in skinny water.
One of the cool things about fishing the lower tides here in Pine Island Sound and Charlotte Harbor is it pushes all those fish off the edge of the bar and kind of into the shallow areas just before the bar starts. And the tide was coming in, so those fish were staging to get back up on that bar and kind of spread out. But the tide low like it was had them all concentrated on the edges. And that shallow water, if you can catch those fish in the mood to eat in the shallow water like that, it's pretty spectacular because they've really only got one place to go, and that's up and out. I mean, they just jump and they're very acrobatic, they're very animated, they make some long runs, it's very visual. It makes snook fishing, just in my opinion, it's one of the best places to catch them. If you can catch them on the shallow edges of those bars, it doesn't get any better than that. You know, this area was absolutely decimated by a horrible red tide here about 2.5 years ago, and a lot of the grass areas that we've come to fish and love over the many years that I've been coming here, they kind of disappeared. You know, the grass was gone, a lot of the snook died, the fishery was in pretty rough shape. And to see the abundance of life, all the bait on the flat, all the fish on the flat, all the things that we were seeing on this trip really did my heart some good, because this is a very, very special place. And that's why conservation and water quality is really important to the state of Florida. You know, it's what we do here. We fish, we beach, we spend time on the water, and the water quality has to be paramount in our moving forward so that we can continue this quality estuary for generations to come.
You're on.
Oh!
Got a fish.
That is a great sound, even in the wind. With the wind in one ear and the pen drag screaming in the other. I'll tell you what, just move up a couple of feet, take your time, work these edges slow. Ozzie's being really, really patient. You know, one of the things that gets lost sometimes in a 30-minute show is that you really just have to be patient. Take your time, work your way down the bar nice and slow. Especially here, Ozzie knows these fish are here, so you just really got to just take your time. Seems like every time we move up, we get bit.
3-4 times.
Yeah.
Just slide up.
Just slide up a little bit. It's really the key, patience. It's the one thing I don't see a lot of in fishing anymore is patience, and that's really the key to being successful. This fish had a lot more spunk than, you wanted that bad boy, didn't you? Oh, it's on the other side. I thought you had it all the way down your belly. I'm not a big fan of fishing with floats, but it's working down this shoreline for sure.
And the only reason we're doing it is just it's so shallow. If you don't, your bait gets in the grass.
Woo! Pretty fish, huh? Now you notice these fish up here in the grass, they're a little darker along the back. The fish we were catching first thing this morning that were on the beach out there by the pass, right by the resort at South Seas, them laying on the beach, they're a lot more silver. Out here on this dark grass bottom, they got a darker back. They stay camouflaged to protect themselves from the birds a little bit. You know, when you can kind of work your way down a long bar like we were fishing today, and every 15 or 20 feet, we were seeing good numbers of fish and some big fish. To me, it was really interesting today that we caught multi-generational fish, so different year classes. And that means that, you know, since the red tide issues that really hampered this area, these last couple of years, these fish have filled in really good. I mean, we caught big fish, we caught some smaller fish, and we caught some fish in between. And that's really, really what you're looking for to kind of give you a gauge on how healthy that fishery is. And right now, I would say the snook fishery here in Charlotte Harbor, Pine Island Sound area is doing pretty doggone good. I got you, Oz.
Nice little fat sucker, a 26, 27 incher.
Nice fish.
That's a good one, Mike.
Yeah, that's a good fish, huh? Got so much energy this time of year. That water temp isn't too high. Woo! I'm gonna have to call this show Snookin'. Snooking with the Oz Man.
The South Seas Island Resort on Captiva Island is a 330-acre wildlife preserve which spans 2.5 miles of pristine white sand beaches. Enjoy some of Florida's best fishing, from snook and tarpon to grouper and kingfish, or play a round of golf overlooking the crystal clear waters of the Gulf of Mexico. The Real Animals Fishing Show can't recommend a better island-style getaway than the South Seas Island Resort.
Hey gang, this week's tip of the week, I want to talk to you about my good friends at Power Pole and the new Power Pole Charge. This is really a unique system because it's an all-in-one charge on the run system. And what that means is it charges your batteries while you're running from spot to spot, while you're running in. Today we were out all day long. I go to the app on my phone. All my batteries are fully charged. Everything tells me all I need to know right here on the Power Pole app. It's really, really unique. It's a great system. It's got a built-in emergency start switch on it. So if for some reason your batteries die, you've got the ability to hit the emergency start switch, get you out of trouble. The cool thing about this is it gives you power where you need it and when you need it. Let's say your house batteries have run down. You had your stereo run, you had the live wells running, you had your lights on, and your house batteries run down. It will pull power from your trolling motor batteries to help start your motor to get you home safely. There's no charger on the market like it. Again, when you tie it to the Power Pole app, it does so many great things to get you home safely, to help you enjoy your day on the water. Go to power-pole.com, check out the new Power Pole Charge. This system will blow you away. It's the best on the market. It's the only thing I would put in my boat. It's the same thing you should put in yours. Check them out today.
There's a better fish, Mike. That's a good fish.
That one's a dandy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that one's a dandy. In the words of my father, that one's a dandy.
Trout?
I don't know if it is. It's really a good trout.
I thought I saw a dark tail. I thought it was too big for a trout. That's a nice snook. Nice snook.
Yeah, it's a really good fish.
There we go, Michael.
That one's a dandy.
Nice snook, Mike.
That's a good fish.
Michael, up the trolling motor?
Yeah, you might want to. He just decides to go that way.
There you go, walk around this way.
Control what we can control here.
I'd walk him just right around.
I'm gonna have to. Hey, Bubba.
Yeah.
Woo! I thought it was bigger.
Yeah, it's still 30
It's a good fish. Yeah, it's a good fish.
But you gotta remember, when you're catching fish in 18 inches of water,
Yeah,
all
that's
you can
true.
do is run. Oh, that's a good fish.
It's a good fish.
He's well over 30.
No doubt.
Oh, nice. He's like 32, 33.
Atta boy. Woo! Ha-ha!
That's a good one.
That's a good one. Look at that hook, huh? Right where you want it.
Gonna hook him
If
any
I can't get him out. Yeah, Ozzie got it out. Atta boy.
That's a nice
Huh?
snook.
That is a stud right there. Woo! Look at that thick back, been eating good.
We've been seeing them go by us.
Yeah.
You know, they're just
Waiting on the right one to eat. Captain Ozzie Fischer, I've said it 100 times, you know, he's probably one of the most talented guys I've ever fished with. You know, his ability to fish inshore, offshore, be such a great tarpon fisherman. He's won countless tournaments, kingfish tournaments, snook tournaments, redfish tournaments. The guy's just so diverse and so multi-talented that it's always a pleasure to come fish with him. We've been friends a long time, and it's just really, really a good thing to come spend a day with my friend, Captain Ozzie Fischer. Woo!
sorry.
Atta boy! You know what's amazing about this place is it never ends. I mean, you come in here, we were here a couple weeks ago, the redfish bite was really good, the big trout bite was really good. You come a couple weeks later and it's big snook. A couple weeks from now, the tarpon are gonna be here so thick you'll be able to walk across them. It's always something here.
It's a very diverse fishery.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And you always put me on them, brother. Nice work.